So, well, I don't know what is going on with Musk and Twitter. So obviously the folks at Twitter know what is going on with that, and Elon and his team obviously knows what's going on behind the scenes. But I'm just going to read the tea leaves as sort of best as I can. And Elon Musk's desire to solve this bot and freedom of speech issue is a commendable one, and one that I have also struggled with in the past. But it is an incredibly hard issue to 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 solve, and we can talk a little bit more about that, as we continue taping today's show. But I don't quite know what Elon Musk had in mind when he made this offer. But um, one thing that Elon is just very good at is keeping himself in the news, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, as a former marketing and communications professional myself, that's been my job to keep people in the news and to get attention from the media on initiatives and projects and products and services. And so I quite don't see anything wrong with that. But I think in this instance, and I'm just reading the tea leaves here, but I think Musk may have just had the wrong idea, because I don't think he anticipated that Twitter would accept his bid. And let's imagine a scenario where if Twitter had not accepted Elon Musk's bid and had um, uh, exercised their their authority and their discretion to not accept the bid and to prevent a hostile takeover. One could have imagined that Elon Musk would have used that to his advantage as well, by saying, Twitter's not serious, that they're preventing somebody from taking control, that they're not that Twitter is not serious about solving this issue when it comes to bots, and all of those things. And I think Twitter made a wise decision, sort of looking at their plans for the future and the offer in its entirety, and figured that they probably were not going to get a better offer than his, for quite some time, if ever at all. And so it made sense for the Twitter board to accept the offer. And now that the Twitter board has accepted the offer, Elon Musk has to find a way to pony up the money. It's 40-ish, 44, 45 billion, I think, somewhere in there. And he has some commitments of from some private equity and VC firms to provide part of that, but the remainder, roughly about 21 million, has to come from him. He can still, at this point, decide to walk away from the Twitter deal, and it would cost him $1 billion. Obviously, he's had to sell some of his Tesla stock to fund the purchase of Twitter, but there isn't any more stock really that he can sell, because a good portion of that is already pledged to other sources. Some of which are charitable causes, and some of which might be backing for other loans and things like that. So there really isn't anything else that he can do. This issue regarding bots is an interesting one, because I mean, I don't know how many bot accounts that are on Twitter, but if I take Twitter at its word that it's about 5%, 5% of many millions is still in the millions. So there's probably, a good portion of accounts that are on Twitter that are bots. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But solving this problem is pretty complicated, not because you cannot ban these bots, but uh, the issue you run into when you begin to do that is also one that he's trying to prevent from happening, which is limiting people's speech on Twitter. So, how do we figure out which account is a bot, which account, and what are they tweeting? For example, if it is a bot that is uh, uh, being operated um, by the Russian intelligence, for example, and it is tweeting pro-Trump items uh, and putting out pro-Trump messages, and Elon Musk finds a way to take down this bot. Uh, does the right wing then criticize him for taking down a bot that was tweeting pro-Republican, pro-Trump talking points? And so, there's it's just one of those things where by embarking on this journey, I'm not quite sure that he had fully thought through the consequences of what he was getting himself into. He's a pretty smart guy, so hopefully he did. But I don't know that he fully understood the ramifications of what he was about to do, and being attacked by the people that he is trying to protect. Um, and so, I mean, there's obviously a lot, Elon Musk himself has made some uh, has made some political statements in the recent weeks about his political affiliation and things like that. And so, if you're going to take over a media company like this, a media company that is just so incredibly important to the way that the world operates and the way that the world organizes and the future of our journalism, um, you should try to stay as far away from politics and on neutral ground as you possibly can. And I'm not sure that Elon had done that. Um, so at the end of the day, I'm sure he is trying to find a way to either negotiate the price down by using this issue of bots and 5% bots. Um, you know, um, I mean, counting the number of bots is also pretty complicated because obviously Twitter has some data about these accounts, but there are some external sources of information that become available as well. And so, or he's going to walk away from the deal. And I'm not quite sure how this ends, but in my view, there is a non-negligible chance of the deal not moving forward.